In Jamaica I prefer a lover to my husband. To be able to come home and realize that I won't have to go back to work for more than a week at this point is a wonderful feeling. My sweetheart, I will be taking a week off for my yearly leave. A greater amount of care than that would be really appreciated, but it is possible that I could take a few days off from work myself. We might embark on a whirlwind excursion. It's not going to be a short trip anymore, Jacob, I'm going to be going on a very lengthy adventure. Sweetheart, what exactly are you talking about? I take a week off from my employment as well as from our marriage in order to take advantage of the annual leave. Don't be concerned, while I'm gone, you are free to engage in any activity you choose with whoever you choose. It is not anything that I will hold against you, and you will not hold it against me for the things that I do. My apologies. Jacob, it is at the time that we were getting married, I was unaware of the extent to which marriage was comparable to having a full-time work. My experience has shown me that a wife needs to be dependable, capable of performing her duties in accordance with the requirements, and most significantly, she needs to ensure that her employer is satisfied. The way we live at home has evolved to resemble an organized. When I was thinking about it, I was thinking about how organizations offer yearly leave to their employees so that they can take some time off from their responsibilities. It is anticipated that they will return feeling revitalized and prepared to resume their duties. With regard to marriage, I was perplexed as to why it couldn't be the same. There is no denying that our marriage has recently become rather stale, monotonous, and repetitive, particularly when it comes to bedtime. The concept of an orgasm was almost lost on me. The conclusion that I arrived at was that in order to get our creative juices flowing again, we both required some time apart from one another. If you give it some thought, you will come to the conclusion that I am correct, and then you will be able to appreciate what I do. You will be relieved to discover that you are utterly insane. At the time that we got married, I never gave my consent to this, let alone have it suddenly imposed on me without any prior warning. I don't know why you think I'll go along with your strange scheme, but I guarantee that I won't let it happen. No, I do not require your authorization. Take it easy, I won't abandon you. I simply want to let you know that after being a devoted and hard-working spouse in our marriage, I am entitled to some rest from you as well. If I hadn't told you earlier, you wouldn't have been able to stop me. You despise squandering money, and the tickets and hotel expenses that you have paid are non-refundable. Pay attention, I have to go out and purchase some swimwear for my trip. It is going to be a sunny trip to Jamaica. I have a boyfriend, and you have a boyfriend, and you don't need to know who he is. You could do something idiotic like tell his wife to look for a lovely girl to play with while I'm gone, but you should remember to get rid of it before I come back. We are who the hell are my boyfriend and I? No, I won't be leaving altogether. In order to show my appreciation for our marriage and for you, I have decided to take a week off for both of us. In a week, we will both be happy to see each other, and our marriage will be repaired. You will see that you are deluded. I forbid you to go. This is the last word I have to say about this topic. You shouldn't make this more difficult, Jacob. Because I was concerned that you wouldn't be pleased with it, I have already moved the majority of our money into an account that is in my name. The only thing that will last for a little more than a week is your money. Because you were able to provide me with a credit card in my name, you would not be able to abandon me in Jamaica by cancelling our shared credit cards while I was out. Calm down and be willing to accept what is about to take place. Your level of comfort with this concept will increase in proportion to the speed with which you begin to adjust to it. What the heck, you'll most likely want to do this once again. Jacob, before I depart, we will have a few hours to spend together after I have finished shopping. On a trip that is perfect for people of all ages, I would like for us both to strip down, and have sexual encounters. What it will be like when I come back is something that I do not want you to forget. You have my love? She departed. The fact that Jacob was not at home when she returned did not come as a surprise to her. Hello, you didn't want to give me a try, therefore you're going to be out of luck in a little while. It is going to be entirely up to my sweetheart to decide what goes on. My only wish is that I will be able to visit the beach while we are there. I'm back at home, my love, after a week has passed. I should have probably checked the garage to see if his car was there. I should have done that. When she went to look in the garage, she found that his automobile was nowhere to be found. While she was looking about the kitchen and living room, she did not detect anything that was out of the ordinary. She had apprehensions that the majority of his possessions had been taken, so she was already on her way to the upper floor. In a fit of rage, he laments. If he has registered to file for divorce, I hope he has done so. When he discovers how much he stands to lose as a result of the divorce, he will be back on his knees at that point. Sex with my boyfriend was good, but I missed some of the things I could only do with my husband's body. First, I'll make Jacob apologize, and then I'll lovingly forgive him, put him to bed, and his brains out. After this, everything will return to normal. As Mia put away her things and got ready for bed, she was sure that Jacob would be back soon. The trip tired her, and she fell asleep easily. When she woke up the next morning, she stretched in bed for a moment, forgetting he wasn't there. Well, he'll be back soon, she reassured herself. She went downstairs and quickly noticed that the coffee she liked to wake up to was not ready, as it had always been since she and Jacob got married. Without Jacob's help, she was almost late for work this morning. She began to get angry with her intractable husband. On her way to work, she dialed his work number after hanging up the phone. Mr. Sherman's office, please welcome me. In what ways may I be of use to you? Greetings, Sarah. I am Jacob's long-term partner. Do you mind if I chat to my husband? My heartfelt apologies, Mrs. Sherman, but he is not present. So, would you be able to inform me when he is going to return? Please accept our apologies, but we are not permitted to release such information. Since when did it become a policy to keep quiet about something like this? You have never had any trouble informing me about it before. Due to the fact that Mr. Sherman instructed me to forward this over to you, the approach that the secretary took was clear to see in her response. Bastards, secretary would hang up on you if you phoned him. There is a possibility that Jacob has found a lady to have sexual relations with, and it takes him a little bit longer to make me jealous by keeping my yearly leave a secret from him. It was my hope that he would not be able to find someone to grow close to in such a short amount of time. I suppose I was misguided. It's possible that he, too, has made the decision to take this annual sabbatical during his marriage. It's a terrific thing for him. This brings us to the same level and ought to assist him in overcoming his wrath. The solace that Mia experienced did not stay for very long. She went to a restaurant in an attempt to use her credit card, but she was denied access, since the automated teller machine would no longer give money to her. It was discovered by her that there were no more cash available in her personal account when she went to the bank. The information that Mia had a minimal amount in the accounts that were in her name was communicated to her. She inquired as to how it was possible for this money to have been taken without her authorization. It was revealed by the Ministry of Internal Affairs that, according to the records of the bank, she herself had given her authorized written consent. Not only did the clerk retrieve her file, but she also presented me with a signed paper that granted her spouse access to her new accounts. Additionally, she presented me with a copy of the driver's license of a lady, who identified herself as Mia Sherman. She was not like Mia, who produced her driver's license to demonstrate that she was legal. The protest that Mia made was heard by DA. In the event that it was a hoax and a fraud, she was instructed to get in touch with the authorities and pursue legal action. Why would he do something like that to me? What a cretin. For this, I'm going to kick his behind. She made a report to the authorities, stating that it had been obtained by fraudulent means, identity theft, and the forgery of her signature. They gathered information from her and inquired about her thoughts regarding the whereabouts of her spouse and the person who was the collaborator of his. Mia provided them with some recommendations on people to get in touch with and locations where he may stay. In the course of their investigation, the police and the FBI came to the realization that they did not have any solid leads. In light of the fact that Mia's funds were rapidly depleting and she had no other choices, she was unable to afford to engage a private investigator or a lawyer to investigate the matter on her own. Just as the police had done, Mia communicated with all of Jacob's acquaintances and relatives that she was familiar with. It was the same response for each and every person that she contacted. I have no idea where he is, and even if I did, heck, I wouldn't tell you whether or not I got by my husband in exchange for having sex in Jamaica. I have no idea where he is. In the event that he does not return promptly, there is no way that I will be able to live in this house and pay all of the bills on my own. There was a possibility that she may sell the house, but she was unable to do so because it was registered in their names. Because he hadn't been gone for a sufficient amount of time, she was unable to file for divorce because she felt abandoned. It was suggested to Mia that she may go through the typical procedures for getting a divorce, however, in the meanwhile, she would run the risk of losing her home. A declaration of bankruptcy was made by the Ministry of Internal Affairs in order to begin the process all over again. On the day that Mia was relocating, she was the recipient of the letter. Mia, it is clear that you were under the impression that I had no other option than to have to wait until you had completed your affair before I could welcome you back. I believe you have forgotten what it was that I did for a living. I took on the role of defense attorney for a number of counterfeits. During the course of my career, I have come across a great number of skilled counterfeiters, who were also proficient in counterfeiting abilities. I remember one woman in particular who served her time. I remember her in part because she was so wonderful. I tracked her down and asked her to help me. At first, she thought I was trying to lure her into a trap to prove that she was still committing crimes. Once I calmed her down, she told me her story about how difficult it is for an ex-con to make an honest living. She was destitute and intended to either return to crime or become a prostitute. I was surprised that she agreed to assist me. I was surprised that she agreed to help me if I met her one condition. During my departure, I was required to take her with me and establish a new identity. It was only after spending one night in bed with her that I realized how wonderful this would be. She was able to create a driver's license with all your information and her photo. Then, she pretended to be you at the bank and forged your signature. It coincided so closely that no one doubted it. No one we dealt with at the bank knew you personally, so it didn't matter that she didn't look like you. It looked like her fake ID, and that was all that mattered. My original plan was to reciprocate your annual week-long sabbatical with my own year-long sabbatical from our marriage after returning your money to you. But I couldn't understand how you could treat me like that the day you left. My generosity has dried up now. After spending some time with my girlfriend, I have decided against a sabbatical or divorce. So, in line with your analogy that marriage is like a job, subscribe to our channel so that your second chaff does not cheat on you. And go ahead and listen to the next story because this story is nothing compared to the next one. If you are under the age of 18, you should not even consider listening to the next one about listening. Mia, you have been dismissed? As usual, because of YouTube's algorithm, they prioritize videos with more likes. So, if you like this video, please hit the like button to help our podcast reach more people. You may also consider subscribing to the channel to receive notifications whenever I upload new content. Thank you sincerely for your support, and I wish you a peaceful weekend evening.